Welcome back to my channel. I'm Astrologer Sooth, and today I'm going to talk about the separative planets that are most importantly placed in your chart, conjunct or in aspect to each other. And if you want to know more, stay tuned. So, what are separative planets? What is the definition of separative planets? Separative planets are the planets that separate you from something, and those planets are Sun, Rahu, and Saturn. These three planets, they are considered separative planets, and if they have any conjunction in your chart, all three of them, you get separation from the happiness of that house. So, if we have to analyze your chart, you've got to see the conjunction of two or more separative planets to get exact predictions. Before discussing with the chart, let me discuss what Sun is. Sun is all about friendship with influential people, authority, friends, gain from government, politics. And Rahu is actually, if it's good, it gives you unexpected gains. And if it has some kind of conjunction with separative planets, that it gives you fake friends. And Saturn is all about good strength, extreme wealth, with hard efforts and very less friends. So let's talk about these three separative planets. When they're placed in conjunction in your horoscope, what happens? So let's discuss the aspects of planets, of separative planets like Sun, Rahu, and Saturn, and what are the aspects and how do they impact you. And let's suppose we are talking about the first house, and let's suppose they're situated in your first house. We are discussing the aspects. Every planet has an aspect. And if you talk about Saturn, Saturn always aspects the third house, the seventh house, and the 10th house from where it's placed. So it is going to impact your 3rd, 7th, and 10th house. Let's suppose there is another separative planet sitting in your first house, like Rahu. Rahu has three aspects again. Rahu always aspects the 5th house from where it's placed, the 7th house from where it's placed, and 9th house. And we can see now that only the 7th house is getting double aspects. Now, if we talk about Sun, Sun only aspects its 7th house. Sun again is aspecting the 7th house. So, in this case, we can see that there is an impact of three separative planets on the 7th house of marriage, of business partnership. So, the person will face some kind of problem getting married. So, the remedy should be done according to that. And if the dasha of the separative planet is going, then he needs to wear any gemstone and needs to consult an astrologer. So let's talk about the impact of separative planets on all the 12 houses. If any three separated planets like Sun, Rahu, and Saturn, they impact your first house, they will separate you from the significance of the first house, that is your own self. If there is impact of these separated planets on the second house, that means you will get separated from joint family, accumulated wealth, or you might have some problem in your speech. If there is an influence of these planets on your third house, that means you will get separated from your younger brother or sister, and you will not be very bold and brave in your actions. If there is influence of these planets on the fourth house, that means you will get separated from your family, your comforts, or even you might lose your mother early in life. Fifth house impact will impact your children, your education. Impact of all the separated planets is considered extremely lucky on the sixth house, just because sixth house is for disease. You will always stay healthy. If any three separated planets they influence your 7th house, that means you will get separation from marriage, married life, and spouse. If your separated planets they impact your 8th house, that is considered extremely lucky, just because 8th house is for accidents and losses. If there is an impact of separated planets on the 9th house, you will get separated from religion. You might not be very religious. If there is impact of separated planets on the 10th house, you will get separation from your father, your profession. You might choose something different. If there is an impact of separative planets on 11th house, you might not be having very good relations with your elder sister or brother, and you might not be having any normal high income. And influence of separative planets on the 12th house means separation from expenses and loss of reputation. So if we see generally separative planets, they're always very lucky on 6th, 8th and 12th house. If they're placed in the 6th house, they separate you from disease. If they are situated in your 8th house, they separate you from accidents. And if they are situated in your 12th house, they separate you from big expenses and losses in your life. So in this way, separative planets, they are also good if they are placed in these houses. So let me explain with the help of two examples, because little knowledge is a dangerous thing. You need to have impact of 3 planets on a house, not 1 or 2. So let's suppose you have Rahu in your first house, third house you have Saturn, and your sun is placed in your 11th house. So Saturn aspects the 5th house from its third aspect, Rahu aspects the 5th house from its 5th aspect, and sun aspects the 5th house from its 7th aspect. So that means your child will not do well in studies, and you will have to choose a different profession for your child, or you need to choose a field that he or she feels comfortable. Let's take one more example. Let's suppose you have Rahu and Saturn conjunct in your 10th house, and your sun is in your 4th house. So sun is aspecting your 10th house. So in this case, again, 3 combination of separated planets forms a loss in career, or you might have to change your career in your life. You get separated from your career very soon, or maybe you need to change your career in your middle life. So I hope you liked my video. If you like it, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because lot more coming. Stay blessed, be happy, bye bye.